Hello, abundance minded friends. Today I'd like to talk to you about how not to lose money with Bitcoin and how you should know whether you should be buying Bitcoin now or selling Bitcoin now. And let me tell you a little bit about what I did. Okay, so remember, this is not financial advice, this is just my opinion. Seek your own financial advice. But back in 2017, I started buying Bitcoin. Not only was I buying it, I was mining it. And I was actually doing it at the highs. Back then, I think it was somewhere between 17,000, maybe it even went as high as 19,000, I don't recall. But I didn't know. I didn't know any better. I didn't know it was at the highs. Back then, John McAfee, he's passed away now. He was the founder of McAfee antivirus software. And he was saying Bitcoin's going to $1 million. And this is back in 2017. And what did I do? I got the case of basically FOMO. I FOMO'd, which is fear of missing out. And I thought, wow, Bitcoin's going to $1 million. I need to get in now. Started buying it, started mining it. And what happened as soon as I got into Bitcoin, started acquiring it? Of course, it crashed and went as low as it went down into the 3,000s. So a couple years later, I think it was 2019, it was around 3,500. It was in the 3,000s. And what did I do? Of course, I sold, right? I did the opposite of what I should have been doing. You should be buying low and selling high. And what did I do? I bought high and I sold low. And why am I even telling you this? Why am I making this video? I'm making it so you don't make the same mistakes that I've made, so you can learn from my mistakes, not repeat them. So Bitcoin basically has 4-year market cycles. So every 4 years, the amount of Bitcoin that's mined, the payout of the Bitcoin is halved, right? So right now I believe it's 6.25 Bitcoins. So every time there's a reward, 6.25 Bitcoins are paid out. And it changes about every 4 years. Every 4 years, there's a market cycle. Let's jump into the charts, and I'm going to show you what I'm talking about. Here we go. Okay, here we are into the charts, and I'm on a website called lookintobitcoin.com. Here it is. Here's a URL, lookintobitcoin.com. And this is an absolutely free website to get different Bitcoin charts. If I had known about this several years ago, I would be so much far further ahead. I would be in so much better financial shape. But anyway, hey, we learn from our mistakes, right? And I'd like to prevent you from making the same mistakes I've made. So this is a chart of Bitcoin's 200-week moving average, and it's actually a heat map. So if I scroll down here, this line right here is the 200-week moving average. So I've taken the moving average and averaged it out over 200 weeks, and that's the line. And what is this? Basically, this line, the 200-week moving average, acts as a floor, about a bottom for Bitcoin. So you kind of know where the bottoms are and where the tops are. So if you see here, this is back in 2015, Bitcoin's around the moving average. That's the floor. It usually doesn't go too far below that, right? And you can look here on the right side. The blue and purples are the time to be accumulating, and then when you get into the yellows and the reds up here, that's how you know when you should be selling. So let's look over here. So this is back in 2013. This is before I knew about Bitcoin. And you can see here the moving average is $46, 200-week moving average. But the price of Bitcoin is $973. Right? So if you have this chart and you saw, hey, this is red, I should be selling some Bitcoin. And you don't know exactly when the top is, so the best thing to do is to dollar cost average. So the same way you would dollar cost average when you buy, you dollar cost average when you sell. So once Bitcoin starts moving up here, you start selling a little bit, and keep selling, right? And then what you do is you can buy back when it's here. So let me go over those 4-year cycles that I talked to you about. So back here is one cycle. Here's the peak, right? So it's November of 2013. So let's go 4 years from now, and we're here December 2017, right? So this is when I was buying. And then what happened? Like I said, soon after I started buying, it crashed. And back here a couple years later, it hit the 3,000s, and that's when I sold. I thought Bitcoin was going to zero. I didn't know any better. I didn't want what I had left to go down to zero, and so I sold. Big mistake. Imagine if you could be buying Bitcoin now at $3,000. Anyway, live and learn. So that was the next cycle. And then just recently here, last year, 2021, we hit another cycle. So these are the tops. Here's one top, here's another top, and here's another top. And you can see this is color-coded right here, yellow and red. This is the time to sell in 2013, time to sell in 2017, and last year, 2021. All you need to do is look at this 200-week moving average, and it basically tells you when to buy and when to sell. When Bitcoin drops down here and it goes along the 200-week moving average and it's blue, this is a time to be accumulating Bitcoin and buying it. So you sell it here. Imagine you sold it here for $1,000 and you buy it back here for $200, right? So if you look at the price here, 1,129, the moving average was 41. And what does Bitcoin do? It comes down to the moving average, right? So now we're in 2015, the moving average is 218, and the price is $227. Time to be accumulating. And then it shoots up again. Bitcoin always has these bull and bear periods where it just explodes up. It's like it's a bubble, and then the bubble bursts. It crashes. So look at this right here. The moving average is $1,400. But Bitcoin was right here $1,600. I think it hit $1,700. Maybe even went as high as 19,000. I mean, not 1,700, but 17,000. That's when I was buying it. And then what happens? It crashes. So imagine if you bought it here at $200, you sold it here at $17,000, right? And then you bought back here at $3,000, and then you sold up here at $60,000. That's what this chart lets you do. It tells you when to buy, when to sell. And where are we today? We're right here. Price is around 20,000, but look at the moving average. Moving average is around almost 24,000. So the price is actually below the moving average. Here's a floor, here's a floor, here's a floor. This was COVID. Here, there was a short floor over here during COVID. And here is where we are today. Does that mean Bitcoin can't go any lower? No, it doesn't mean that. Bitcoin could still drop lower. But what it means is we are currently below the 200-week moving average. And this is an excellent time to be accumulating. Not financial advice. Make your own decisions. But I'm dollar cost averaging every week. I'm accumulating more and more Bitcoin at these levels, $20,000. And let's say it does drop down to $10,000. I'll be accumulating even more. But I do know if the price is 20 and the moving average is 24, I'm getting it at a discount. So I'm just going to keep accumulating. Not only am I dollar cost averaging weekly, I've also got limit orders in place. I've got limit orders down to 10,000. So as Bitcoin drops, I'm buying even bigger chunks of Bitcoin as it drops down, and it may never drop. That's fine with me because I'm still accumulating weekly. So make sure you check out this chart right here. Look into bitcoin.com. This is the 200-week moving average heat map. There's other charts, and I'll be going over the other charts on future videos, and I'll also update you monthly or every other month on this chart. And as you can see, this is where we are. No better time than now to be accumulating Bitcoin. Be sure to subscribe for future videos. Hit that like button, hit the notification bell, and I'm going to create more videos so you don't make the same mistakes that I've made in the past. Thank you.